deathmatch time. I want you to imagine a battle between two combatants. On one side, you have an extrovert with a gift of the gab. And on the other side, you have, well, an introvert with a system. The field of battle is the presentation stage, and the stakes, as always from that stage, are sky high. Here's my question. On which one of these combatants would you put your money? Well, I know exactly where I'd bet, and I'm going to explain why in this video, so stick around. Hey, welcome to Deed Loud. My name is Richard Mulholland. I'm the founder and chief evangelist of Presentation Powerhouse Missing Link. Now, one of my privileges is that I get to work with some of the most amazing individuals, executive speakers who all want to move audiences. But one of my frustrations is that they don't fully understand the limitations and what is available to them on this field of battle. You see, on one side, we'll have that very, very extroverted leader who'll come to us and say, oh, I don't need training. You know, people love it when I present. And on the other side, we'll have the more introverted leader or presenter who might say to us, look, I'm just not very, very comfortable in front of crowds. So let's just work on the slides. To me, these are two issues that have a very, very common solution. And I guess stem from a common misunderstanding. And I want to explain that to you in this video. So to do that, I'm going to draw you a little picture. I don't draw pictures a lot, so you really should watch this one. Let's go down below.
All right. So I want you to imagine on one axis here, you have the first thing, or first axis, which is skill. Then on the second axis over here, we have system. All right. Now, most speakers that we deal with are unfortunately somewhere down here in this zone.
They're not necessarily a skilled presenter, but they don't really have much system either.
They are completely forgettable. Not great. You're not going to remember them afterwards. You forget them. They just kind of showed up. They didn't have skill. They didn't have any system. Now, the next speaker that we want to talk about, well, they're these people up here. Now, these people are great. They are actually often very enjoyable.
They're enjoyable, but not much else. A great example of that would be your typical motivational speaker or things like that. You really, really feel great about it, but you don't do anything that different as a result.
Now you get the next speaker, and that's this one down here. Now, they don't have a lot of skill, right? They're not very, very skillful, but they understand a good narrative structure. They understand what makes a good story.
Now, a great example of this for me is Elon Musk. Nobody would call Elon Musk a great speaker. However, he's very, very persuasive. We showed the launch of his great Tesla Powerwall to our team at Missing Link, and I asked them to do a breakdown of it. You know, what do you think of this talk? And they're like, oh, it's terrible. He's not, look at him. He doesn't know his ums and ahs and blah, blah, blah. And I mean, check this out.
So it addresses all the needs. If you're thinking about sort of buying a battery, what does this provide you? Well, it gives you peace of mind. So if there's a cut in the utilities, you're always going to have power, particularly if you're in a place that's very cold. Now you don't have to worry about being out of power if there's an ice storm.
And, you know, he's just not a great presenter. And so they gave me all of this feedback. And then at the end of it, I said, okay, great. Now tell me, do you want to buy that Tesla Powerwall? And they're all like, yes. And I said, great. So how can he be a bad speaker? These speakers are what we refer to as actionable. You may not enjoy them, but they may drive you to action. They don't always get you there in the most elegant way, but they get you there eventually.
And then finally, you get these ones up here. Now, in fact, these ones up here, they should be a tick, right? Because up here is where you get the truly, truly remarkable speakers. They are the ones that you talk about, that you think about afterwards, that they make a meaningful impact on your life.
Now, Simon Sinek is a great example of this because, yes, one side, he's a very eloquent speaker and he has the gift of the gab for sure. But on the other side, you have a person who follows a narrative structure well enough to drive you to action. If you don't believe me, see how many meetings people are talking about their why in.
Now, here's the thing. All we want to do for us is we want to get our speakers somewhat into this arc of competence. The arc of competence that exists up here. So these speakers, we want to get up there. These speakers, we want to get up there. And these speakers, we want to get up there. Now, here's the funny thing. It is way easier to get this speaker to want to move up than it is to get this speaker to want to move across.
Because of ego. Because they do not feel that they need to fix something that is not broken. People love it when I present. They always laugh. They always pat me on the back and tell me how fantastic that was. Their measurement criteria is different to yours. They're gauging their criteria on how much they enjoyed your presentation. You're gauging your criteria on how much action they took as a result of it. The systematic speaker will drive more action.
It is the speaker that exists down here. They understand the value of system. So if we can just give them a small system to improve their skill incrementally, we can get them into that arc of competence. Small things like working on their segues and things like that. So let's go back upstairs.
So the funny thing is for us, the counterintuitive idea is it has always been easier for us to give certain tools to a systematic speaker to make them more skillful than it is to get skillful speakers to adopt a system. This is your unfair advantage. Why I'm telling you this today is that I want you to understand that presentation and public speaking is not inherent. There are some people who maybe naturally come to it easier, but they have their own demons as well. For most of us, it is completely and utterly a hackable skill that we can learn like anything else. And that's what I want to challenge you to do. Because day to day, day in, day out, you are in that death match, in that meeting, in that pitch, on that stage, delivering that TED Talk. And you want to make sure that you're the one that people remember. So give it some thought. Understand that this is a learnable skill. Use it and lead loud.